Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody here today. My name is Kate Vacanti. I'm the Assistant Director for the Workforce Development Branch at the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity. It's great to see many people in the room that I know and some new faces as well. We're so glad to have you all with us today to celebrate the launch of our High Road Training Partnership Fund. Today is about celebrating the selection of 19 exciting and innovative grantees and building momentum for increased high road pathways and new opportunities for underserved populations across Los Angeles County. So before we get started, I did want to say thank you to El Camino College for hosting us today. And I would like to pass it over to Dr. Brenda Thames, the president of El Camino College, to say a few words. So thank you.
To our El Camino College friends, colleagues, partners, allies, I will just say it is good to see you all again. It's great to have you back on campus. For those of you who are here for the very first time, I want to officially welcome you to El Camino College. That is the first and only welcome you will get from me, because once you've been here, we consider you a friend, a partner, and or family, and you are always welcomed here. So if we haven't partnered with you yet, we look forward to developing that relationship. I also want to thank and acknowledge the supervisor's office. Ara, she's our adopted daughter. We think she works for us. She really works for the supervisor, but we love her so much. And Supervisor Mitchell, who is one of our biggest cheerleaders and supporters. And so we appreciate the partnership and work that she does with us and for us. And we appreciate that she keeps us top of mind when she wants to have events like this. The work that you are doing aligns with our mission and our vision and the work that we do with and for our students and our communities with workforce development. So we are pleased to have this cohort and coalition of folks who are doing the same work that we are here with us today. To be responsive to what industries really need to thrive and grow and to keep our economy moving. We are honored to have guests here from across a wide spectrum of industries, from the creative sector and healthcare to hospitality, construction, infrastructure, the public sector, aerospace and defense. Whatever you are representing, your presence here speaks volumes about the importance of our collective work, innovation, and the cross-sector collaboration. I would like to also say how pleased we are to have Dahlberg LLC and UCLA Harbor Center here, as well as all of you grantees. Your expertise, vision, and leadership are instrumental in driving this initiative forward, and I wish you a very productive day. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Thames. We got her for just a second because she's got a busy day, and we're so grateful for El Camino College hosting us and our HRTP grantees today. For those that don't know me, my name is Kelly Lobianco, and I'm director of the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity. And for those that don't know our department, we serve as the Economic Development Agency for Los Angeles County. We are committed to a more equitable economy with thriving local communities, inclusive and sustainable growth and opportunity and mobility for all. We do this by creating quality jobs, by helping small businesses and high road employers start and grow, and building vibrant communities and spaces. We are really excited. I know I am personally very excited to be with you all today with Supervisor Mitchell and team who will be joining us shortly. My team at DEO, if you're from DEO, please raise your hands and everyone look around and say hi. There's many of us here today. Yes, give them a round of applause. Our program co-leads UCLA Labor Center and Dahlberg. They have been burning the midnight oil to help us get here with all of you. Our leaders at the state, thank you so much. And we're here to announce 19 high road training partnerships, representing over 200 worker organizations and labor partners, educational institutions, employers and industry associations, community-based organizations, and public agencies. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. So I want to talk a little bit about why the Department of Economic Opportunity is investing in high road training partnerships and what they mean to us. So high road training partnerships, or HRTPs as we call them, and the HRTP fund, and all of the awardees here today You all are the embodiment of our mission and vision, which I just shared with you. HRTPs are worker-centered, industry-informed training models that are delivered in partnership and yield quality jobs, equity, and climate resilience in our economy and our region. That's what these programs are all about. As the agency overseeing LA County's public workforce system and our America's Job Centers of California, many of you I also see in the room, so hello. We invest in tens of thousands of workers and businesses every single year through hiring and training services. That is bread and butter to us. And that could include basic job readiness preparation, skills training and credentials, paid work experiences, on-the-job training, registered apprenticeships, you name it. Those are different tools to help us upskill our current and future workforce. And HRTP can include any and all of those. What sets an HRT apart and why we're so invested in this particular model is the committed partners at the table, and thank you for being our committed partners, who have invested in the right training model in supportive infrastructure that ensures our local and diverse talent have access and are competitive and qualified to meet the evolving needs of high growth and high opportunity sectors with high road employers, bolstering our local labor force and our local economy for the long term. We've also integrated a worker equity fund into this program model, offering over $1,000 in flexible cash assistance for participants who may need to cover rent or childcare or other one-time costs that further support retention and advancement, especially for those communities most in need. This is where we have an opportunity to not just meet the hiring and training needs of employers today, which we know is important, and you all are representing many, many industries that need our support, but to inspire real systems change for our future. That means not just a job, but it means wealth building and economic mobility for underserved communities, shifting hiring practices with employers that ensure they stay rooted and invested in Los Angeles, and integrating climate resilience and sustainability by advancing those industries that are emerging, clean tech, zero emission vehicles, sustainable infrastructure, and ensuring all industries are green. The HRTP fund was inspired by the state of California's High Road Training Partnership Program, and we are grateful to have representatives from the California Workforce Development Board and State Employment Development Department here today that you'll hear from. We were also inspired by the governor's goal for 500,000 apprentices by 2025, which we think LA County needs to show up big for. And we know LA County is and can be a leader in HRTPs and registered apprenticeships in the state and the nation and beyond. And we hope that this is just a tip of the iceberg investment that we can make to help together to make that happen. Sorry, one second, I lost my place. All right. We also know how critical investments are needed in our economy and workers right now with the continuous disruptions from COVID-19, the entertainment strikes, the windstorms and wildfires of this last year, and current immigration actions, and the resulting economic uncertainty that we're facing. We're here to help weather the storm and also ensure our local labor force is ready to take advantage and see maximum community benefit, no matter what the disruption or even the opportunity as LA takes the world stage in the coming years for the World Cup, the Super Bowl in LA 28. For all of these reasons, and with much gratitude to the Board of Supervisors for championing this particular program model, DEO has invested $34 million in HRTPs to start, including $17.8 million represented by our HRTP fund today together. Yes, thank you, Supervisor Mitchell. It's real money, more coming. These programs, and give it up for Supervisor Mitchell, by the way. You'll hear from her in just a second. All right, these programs are available thanks to the American Rescue Plan. So we are still investing those last dollars coming out of the pandemic, knowing that it impacted 700,000 workers and many still reeling from the other things that I mentioned. And our Care First Community Investment. I don't know if Megan Castillo was able to join us yet from the Care First Community Investment Advisory Committee, but I serve on this. And that means that the dollars invested here are dollars that the community wanted invested this way. And so that's really, really important to acknowledge as well. Since our launch, the Department of Economic Opportunity, just 3 years ago, this month, we've launched HRTPs in construction, with some of you in the room, healthcare, aerospace, the creative economy, technology, and early care and education. We've enrolled over 560 trainees with nearly 500 jobs or apprenticeships to date. We have several of our current HRTPs with us here today. You're going to hear them throughout our community of practice. For example, Lost Angels, our aerospace HRTP in the Antelope Valley, they train opportunity youth on classic cars with a 99% graduation rate and 90% higher rate into skilled positions with Northrop and Lockheed. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about HRTPs. We also have the Filipino Worker Center, our caring workforce training program that we invest in with them, that offers a best-in-class home care curriculum above and beyond the requirements that prepares diverse and multilingual care workers for a very tough job serving diverse and multilingual residents of our county, including wage advocacy, and helps them start and join co-ops that allow for employee ownership and advancement in an industry that hasn't always offered that pathway. This is the future of healthcare, and we're proud to partner with the Filipino Worker Center. Yes. Thank you. You'll hear from them in a moment as well. The 19 HRTPs today will accelerate these outcomes and impacts that I just mentioned with 1,800 new trained workers by the end of 2026 across an ever wider array of sectors that you all represent. We look forward to introducing you shortly, but for now, I'm going to invite up our partner, Ken Gomez, from the State Employment Development Department, and a couple more speakers before we congratulate you all and get started with our day. So thank you so much. Ken, come on up.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you to Kelly and her team for inviting us to this important celebration of innovation. We are so happy to be here today, and it's always great to be on a college campus. You know, that's where I got my start, so it's important to reconnect with those roots. The important thing that we'd like to share with you today is how EDD partners and what role we play with the High Road Training Partnership. So, the thing I like best about this is it involves everyone. It's really a collaboration. It's not just feeding a pipeline, it's developing people, and that's what it's all about. There's one thing that's intangible about this type of services that we're providing is you give people not only self-esteem but confidence. And this is such a great program because it does prepare them, we'll say, from college to well into their golden years. So we're looking for very, very important people to find important careers that they have a passion for. So this is the moment where we are investing in people and not pipelines. So HRTPs bring together all the stakeholders, as I mentioned, from employers to, we have colleges, unions, we have a lot of different players. So who knows best what people need? Everybody. So it's that collaborative effort that gives you that holistic approach to determining what really is needed today and for the future. At the heart of the HTP program is the access to good jobs and careers. We've always subscribed to that notion. It's so very important. And what I'd like to do now is just share some information how EDD plays a role in all of this. A lot of you probably think we're the deep pockets with the money, the grants, but not always. A lot of our grants, as you know, are federally funded, and a lot of them come from the state. So I wanted to go over just a few, just some highlights of what is offered by the California Workforce Development Board and the California Labor and Workforce Development Agency. For 2025, about $18.5 million have been awarded. And I'm very pleased to report that one of the largest awards was here in the South Bay. It's for healthcare. And the partner selected is the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Very proud of their efforts. I sit on that board, and they do an amazing job in the community. So out of this, a minimum, out of all these programs, a minimum of $4.3 million goes towards healthcare. As you well know, that's really important in today's age, because especially for me, because I'm getting very close to, my golden years, so I need to have really good health care coming up. Anyway, the other areas that they're investing in, as you probably will know, are things like aerospace. Long Beach is famous for their space beach. Again, that's a collaboration of different organizations, big think tank trying to put together plans for the future. Also, the other thing that we look at is logistics and transportation. We have a wealth of revenue coming in from the two ports, the Port of Los Angeles and the Port of Long Beach. Great revenue producing entities there. And what I'd now like to just kind of share with you is how the two most recent EDD grants that we allocated in 2025. As you know, the wildfires were devastating. So we were able to make a total grant of $20 million. 10 million went to DEO, and that was to help folks, impacted workers, access transitional jobs, on-the-job training, and upgrades with their skills. The other $10 million is actually coordinated through the City of Los Angeles and the County of Los Angeles, and that was for more of recovery efforts like temporary jobs like debris cleanup and things of that nature. So that's one of the most important grants. The other one is a smaller grant. It's called the Allied Healthcare Grant. I know it's only $2 million. It doesn't sound a lot, but it does make a huge impact. And fortunately, 1 million of that is going toward healthcare in the South Bay. Again, the South Bay Workforce Investment Board was awarded that particular grant. So this is quite a time of transformation, and I'm always happy to be part of change and exciting innovation. And I just wanted to thank everyone for their collaboration, for their passion, and for really taking a look at every single opportunity and approach to making sure that our citizens of California have a really successful and fruitful career moving forward. So with that said, I just want to commend everyone for being so innovative with this new, I'm going to say business model because I have a business degree, but this new training model, and just welcome everyone to this wonderful conference you have today. I encourage you to learn as much as you can, and EDD is always here to help you guys. I know that we can't be everything to everybody, but we do have some services that we're very proud of. We administer the unemployment insurance program, disability and paid family leave, and my branch, Workforce Services, which is kind of under the radar, but we're the one that has almost 200 offices throughout California, so we are the public-facing version. We do assist customers with different workforce items. We can help them with resumes. We help employers do recruitments. A recent example was here in the area. Vallarta Markets opened in Torrance, and they were in dire need of new staff. So we opened up our office in Torrance, and they came in and they hired 70 people that were out of work. So really, really important that we stay connected with the community. We also have just want to share another short story. I'll try to make it short. That's difficult for me. About one of our gentlemen that came to my office in Compton, and he was just very distraught. He had recently been released from incarceration, and he was looking for work. After doing a consultation with him, we found out he actually was an electrician and had previous certification. So what we did is we threw everything into high gear. He needed to, number one, recertify, rejoin the union, and his employer had to get a bond. So his employer gave him 2 days to get this all together. So we threw it together, pulled it together with all of our workforce development partners, making calls. What can you do? What kind of supportive services do you have? And we were able to get him the funding. And thanks to EDD's Fidelity Bonding Program, we do put up a bond free of charge for 6 months for those folks that were justice involved. So it really does show how it's quite a lovely network. I feel that we're so rich with resources here. It's just connecting people to the right ones at the right time in their lives. And I appreciate everything that you guys do to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Ken has been a great partner to us, and so has the Employment Development Department. You bring up a great point about how, especially in these times, we have to be very creative in the way we identify and braid funding to make this work happen together. And so we'll continue to do that with our partners at all levels. and very, very appreciative of the investment that the EDD and the state has made for our recovery from the fires. Those dollars for work with public agencies on cleanup is still underway. Those opportunities to bring dislocated workers into training programs and hiring opportunities are still on the table. Those are things that we'll talk about with you too, as they make sense for the organizations that you represent. All right, and now I'm excited to bring up, I just plugged before she got here, the Filipino Worker Center and our partnership together, but so happy to have the Executive Director, Aquilina Soriano Versosa. Apologies if I've butchered that. But so happy to have you here to talk a little bit about the Filipino Worker Center, your work on the Caring Workforce Training Program, and your leadership and advocacy in this space of HRTPs. So thank you, Aquilina. Come on up.
Right. Good morning. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Again, I'm Aki Soriano Versosa, the Executive Director of the Filipino Workers Center, and we're so grateful to be in partnership with the Los Angeles County and the Department of Economic Opportunity. We have been working for over a year now on the Caring Workforce Training Program. And I actually sat on the executive board of the Workforce Equity Initiative Task Force that we did in partnership with UCLA and other organizations building skills to look at the workforce system overall to see what could we learn about how we can better improve the program overall, the way that we implement it so that we can reach everyone in our community who really needs these important investments for improvements in jobs. And so the Caring Workforce Training Program really came out of that learning about the workforce development system and how we could provide a program and design a program that's worker-centered, but also industry-led and connected for successful training and placement, into good jobs for immigrants and low-wage workers who are working in the home care industry, in the private sector of the industry. Normally, low-wage industries don't get investment from workforce development because we're often trying to train them into better jobs, into better industries. But industries like home care are only growing and are not going away. They are a foundation for our health system, as well as our families and our society and our economy overall. Home care is one of the fastest growing jobs and needs, as we have so many of our neighbors, our fellow Angelinos moving into retirement years. And we need to have the workforce available so that everyone can have real options of aging in their own communities, in their own homes, for the richness of intergenerational communities. We have a shortage right now, and part of that shortage is because the jobs are not good quality jobs overall. So the Caring Workforce Training Program is training both in the skills of home care, meeting the needs that we have in the industry now, like we partnered with the Alzheimer's Association, the Alzheimer's of Los Angeles, to create a specialized module to meet the needs of our community, both in prevention, but also and learning about the disease and the symptoms, but also like the hands-on practices that really make a difference in the quality of life, so that workers can go back into the industry with all of those skills. But through our program, they're also equipped with Know Your Rights trainings, so that as they're going into the workforce, they also are able to advocate, not only knowing the rights, but being connected to places and organizations that can help them to protect their rights. And finally, connected to cooperative development, so that we can have real and encourage high road employers in the home care industry. So we have partners, some who are really, who are trying also being high road employers, but then this cooperative model is one that is very worker centered because it has been created by workers themselves, where they have democratic control over, over the business operations, and they are able to benefit from all of the success of the business as it grows. So it's not only benefiting one individual, but really they're able to share in the cooperative success, and the cooperative structure helps us to build collaborative care teams that also improve quality of care. So for the caring workforce training program, we are also integrating introductions to co-ops and basic skills that they need to also start their own cooperatives and be connected to an ecosystem of cooperatives that is developing, that provides a lot of support, Vivid Life Home Care, to really be successful, to get into jobs that are $25 an hour with pathways to even higher wages, actually having health insurance, all of their rights like paid time off protected, holiday pay, even paid vacation, which is pretty unheard of in home care. So we're really excited about this project that also meets people where they're at, thinking about the design of it, how many days a week can actually people invest in training, how we can provide earn and learn opportunities so that they can invest their time while still surviving, to be able to invest in their own career advancement, wraparound case management services, and a cohort model that that leaves them actually with a lot of support, not only throughout the program, but after the program as well. So we're very excited. We've already graduated 4 cohorts over this last year, just under 100 workers, and we're in the middle of our final cohort, which will bring us to 100 total workers with no dropout throughout the program. And and already there are 3 new home care cooperatives that are forming out of the graduates of the Caring Workforce Training Program. So soon, in September, they'll have launched their own, opening their doors for the new home care co-ops. So I just want to thank you again, and we're so excited about this next year of working together with all of these other exciting projects. We're really excited to learn from all the projects and share our learnings as well, so that we can really make an impact and make sure that we're really investing and supporting all of the diversity of our beautiful county, that we're investing, so that work, of course, is a basic foundation for us to be able to have a really strong community and strong economy. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Aki. And you can see the Filipino Worker Center is doing amazing work, and we're so glad to be a part of it. And quick housekeeping, if you don't know, the bathrooms straight through this way, left and left, and parking passes at the front, at the info desk when you came in here. So just don't go now, but just so you know if you're worrying about it while you're listening. All right, and without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce Supervisor Mitchell. Supervisor Mitchell not only has championed the High Road Training Partnership Model, she also is behind the investments of American Rescue Plan and Care First Community Investment dollars in these program models too. So thank you for your work and leadership, and excited to have you up and share in our announcement.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Sosa. Thank you to the state. As I was sitting there thinking and looking at this room, I awaken every morning to texts from colleagues all over the country. I'm very active in my state and national affinity group of county supervisors and commissioners all over the country. And so they're texting, "Are you okay? We saw MacArthur Park on the news. Are you okay?" So there's this notion that all of LA is in complete and utter turmoil and chaos, and to a degree we are because they've invaded us. Just my opinion, may not be yours. But then when I come into a space like this, and I hear about amazing partnerships and investments from the state, proud to announce that, you know, you'll try to bury the lead, Kelly, all that money coming from your county government back into community. And so then I'm really torn because I want to go out and yell and scream and say, look what your local government is doing on behalf of workers in a equity-focused, meaningful, relevant way. And then on the other hand, I want to say, shh. Let's just keep doing the work. And maybe they won't see us, and we can continue to be successful. But that's my personal tug of war, wanting to share the great news. But like, this is reality. This is your local government at work. This is your local government who sees you, who hears you, who understands the needs of our family, friends, and neighbors, and we stand up and deliver. And so that makes me very, very proud to be a sitting member of LA County Board of Supervisors and to have partners at the state and to have partners in labor and nonprofit organizations who understand the concept of collaboration. That means we all bring something to the table and work collaboratively to deliver a wonderful outcome. So, you know, it's the official announcement, yay, of nearly $17 million in county funding to scale 19 high road training partnerships across the region. And so for me, this is really more than a funding announcement. It's yet again a clear statement of our values as the county, that we believe in investing in workers, centering equity, and designing job training that leads to real careers and real change. And so I want to thank the Care First Community Investment Steering Committee for supplementing the funding for this important work. Again, partnership and collaboration. You all know that HRTPs are a core pillar of LA County's equitable economic development strategy. They both help connect employers with local talent. We train Angelenos for career paths that might not otherwise they've had access to. And these partnerships bring together employers, you've heard it, labor, community-based organizations, training providers to build programs that actually lead to good paying jobs, jobs with dignity, and from my perspective, really important jobs with a future. You know that through HRTPs, workers are paid for their training time. That's a novel concept, particularly here in LA County. They receive wraparound support like child care. If you don't know my history, you know I came to elected office after running one of the largest child development agencies in the country, Crystal Stairs. And I talked to families every day. I met families, I saw families who, but for access to affordable, quality, accessible childcare, they couldn't go to work or school. I could not have done my job at Crystal Stairs or served in elected office if I know I didn't have a safe place for my son to be so I could go to work. And here in our region, transportation assistance is critical. And the training is for roles in demand, growing emerging industries, and roles that employers are actively hiring for. And that's the entire high road approach, creating pipelines to sustainable careers, not just, you know, gigs or dead-end jobs. I represent the 2nd Supervisorial District, and we know these programs are life-changing. 5 of the awarded HRTPs are based in my district, and I'm proud to see organizations like New Earth, Sola Foundation, Loyola Marymount University, Whitehall Community Arts Foundation, and the Urban League leading the way. These organizations are preparing people for careers in everything from digital media to infrastructure to hospitality, all industries that are critical to the economic future of our region. But what makes me, I think, the most proud is who the programs are designed to serve. It's all of us. People impacted by systems, be it the justice system or our child welfare services system, foster care. Young people who've not had the opportunity for career exposure into long-term family-sustaining wage career pathways. Residents who've had talent and drive but haven't had access to institutions like this, community colleges or four-year degrees. And our communities that have been long excluded from economic opportunity, and we know who they are. They look like the communities many of us in this room represent. And this is what equitable economic development looks like, not just bringing jobs to our region, but building career ladders that our people can actually climb. I've been a champion of high road training partnerships because I've seen firsthand how they change lives. Case in point, Crystal, who went from unhoused to moving into her first apartment because of a high road training program with the building trades, and is now an apprentice with IBEW. In 2022, I had the opportunity to present LA County's HRTP model at the White House as an example of how local government could effectively deploy ARP dollars. I've also proudly supported the PLACE program, which positions LA County itself as the employer partner in HRTPs, opening doors to good old county jobs, as my grandmother would say, for people who face barriers to employment. And most recently, Supervisor Hahn and I authored a motion to expand these efforts to support refinery workers at the Phillips 66 plant in Wilmington and Carson, which is scheduled to close in 2026. These are workers who have powered our economy for decades, and they deserve clear pathways to the next chapter of their careers and lives, perhaps in county employment, and not layoffs, and certainly not uncertainty. This is the kind of local investment I think is critical, particularly now when we're seeing the federal government retreat, frankly, run away from all things equity-based. Under the current administration, we've seen rollbacks to civil rights protections and a disinvestment in programs that support working families. That makes it even more important for us at the county level to lead boldly, with courage, and invest with an equity lens. So this $17 million is not just about workforce training. It's about correcting historic wrongs, pushing back against harmful federal trends, and building an economy that works for everyone. So to every organization receiving funding, congratulations, first of all, we're with you, and you're helping us chart the course for the future of investments in the public workforce system. I hope you know that you're not alone in this work, and we'll do everything we can to continue to support your success, because together, only together, can we build an LA County where your zip code doesn't have to define your life outcomes. In fact, when you go back to your community, you can change the trajectory of others who live in your zip code. And where we are truly providing every resident opportunity for economic self-sufficiency. Thank you, Kelly, for what you and your team does. I know you guys work very hard, small team, big work, a lot of responsibility, because frankly, all of us in LA County are counting on your success, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Congratulations.